Today's topic is input and output functions in C. Here printf is nothing but the output function and scanf is nothing but the input function. Okay, and generally what do you mean by a function? Suppose consider you are having main function, right? What is the functionality of main function? The start of program execution, means program execution starts from main onwards, right? Say CLR SCR. What is the CLR SCR function? It's a clear screen function, right? And what is the output function? Printf is the output function, right? And what is the input function? Scanf is the input function. So what you observe here, each function is doing how many tasks? It's doing only one single task, right? Main is starting, CLR SCR is clearing, printf is getting the output, and scanf is giving the input, right? So what you can say a function is, it's nothing but a set of instructions, means nothing but a set of instructions written to perform a particular task. That is, you can say it as a function. Means if you want to do some work, we are using a function. If you want to perform a task, we are using a function. Okay, and this definition will be same throughout any programming language. Say function is nothing but to do a task, to perform a task, right? So the same way printf is a output function, nothing but to display the output we are using the printf function. Okay, whereas the output can be displayed in three different ways. Means the printf function can be used in three different ways. The meaning is same, that it is used to perform the output, used to display the output, right? Say here, what's the first way you can say? First way is nothing but if I want to display any message. Suppose consider syntax. The first one syntax is nothing but say printf message. So what do you mean by this printf? Whatever the message you're writing in the double quotes, in this double quotes, whatever the message you will write, the message will be displayed as it is onto the output. Okay, compiler will not modify any content. It won't check for the grammar mistake, it won't check for the spelling mistakes, just it will take the message and print on the output screen. Okay, so there is a functionality of printf. Suppose consider an example. Okay, say printf is there. In this double quotes, if I am writing suppose welcome to C language, what will be the output? Okay, just guess the output, what will be? Like say whatever you are writing in the double quotes, it will be displayed, right? So what you have written in the double quotes, say welcome to C language, right? Suppose if I am writing in the double quotes in this format, okay, then what will be the output? Is the output will be the same, welcome to C language itself? No. Why? Because in the double quotes what you have written, welcome to C lang, right? So the output will also will be welcome to C lang. Compiler will not check the grammatic mistake or the spelling mistakes. It will display as it is. Whatever you are writing in the double quotes will be displayed onto the output screen. It is nothing but, consider your mobile. You send a message, right, through a mobile. So whatever the content you write in the mobile, the same will be forwarded to your friend, right? Does the customer care or the particular support, does they change anything? Right? Understood, right? So the same thing is this printf. whatever the message you write in the double quotes, the same will be displayed. If you are writing a symbol, suppose say welcome to C dollar language, what will be the output? The same way, welcome to C dollar language. Okay, so whatever you write in the double quotes, it will be displayed as it is onto the output. Is this point clear? Now suppose, in the sense, in the brackets, if you're writing, yes, it's a string. Whatever you write, it will be considered as a string, and the same will be displayed irrespective of any modifications. Okay, now this is the first way. Suppose, what is the second way? I want to display a particular, suppose say int a equals to 10 is there. Int a equals to 10. What is required at the time of output? Suppose consider, say I am opening a page. Here at the time of output, what is required? Int a equals to 10. A is required or 10 is required? Consider int a equals to 10. At the time of output, which is important, a or 10, which is required, which is the valuable thing here? The value, right? The value is most important thing, which will be displayed to other users. Yes or no? Where is this particular value? A, right? So this A must be represented to the compiler. This what type of this particular output it has to display, right? So it has to display integer type of value, right? Yes or no? So how you will represent that A is a integer type to a particular compiler? Here you are declaring it's fine that int A is integer 2 bytes allocated in the RAM, right? But at the time of output or input, I have to specify to the compiler what is this A data type, right? For that reason, we are using a concept known as control string. What is the concept? Control string, or you can say format specifier. Format specifier means we are specifying the type. Like say we have different data types, right? What are the different data types you have? Yeah, different data types in the sense, int is first one, float is there, double is there, means all the data types I'm saying. Okay, char is there, double is the extension, right? We'll write later. Next, string is there, fine, double is there, long is there, right? Now unsigned will also be there. Okay, so what is the unsigned we can discuss later. First, this data types has a particular control string or format specifier. Okay, say to represent the integer data type, we are having a control string or format specifier known as %d. Okay, so what it specifies is nothing but the variable is of type integer. Next, what is float? For float, you are having a format specifier known as %f. Okay, so this float represented by %f. And what is for char? You can say the %c for character. If you observe, for float the starting letter is f. The same way that format specifier is also starting letter, right? Next, for string it will be %s. The same thing we are observing for char and string also, right? Now one more thing is there, double. What is double? Extension of float, right? Larger than float. If you say, if you want to remember, you can say lf, larger than float. And what is long? Extension of integer. So %d, right? So %ld. Okay, and what is it for percentile unsigned is nothing but percentile u, percentile u. So what are these control strings or format specifiers? These are predefined format specifiers which are given by the software developer to represent what type of data the variable consists of. Here that a consists of what? 10, right? Yes or no? So to specify that to the compiler, we are using this control string or format specifier. Clear? So what is it integer control string? It's percentile d, right? Say here int a equals to 10, which is important. 10 is important, right? At the time of output 10 is required, so I want to display the value of a particular variable, right? So for that you can use the second way, that is nothing but to display the value. Okay, suppose we are having one more syntax, say printf suppose I'm writing, say in the double quotes itself we will be having the control string 1 to control string n. After the double quotes, comma, variable 1 to variable n, close the parenthesis, close the particular semicolon, right? Here what is it variable specifies? How to know how many control strings we have to take? Nothing but how many variables will be there, that many number of control strings will be taken. Suppose if you are having 10 variables, so what you can take here, 10 control strings will be taken, right? Say here if you are having 5 variables, then 5 control strings will be taken. Suppose if you are having 3 integers and 2 floats, 3 integer control strings and 2 float control strings will be taken. Okay, so for this example, say suppose if I want to display a value a equals to 10 is there, right? I want to write the example. Suppose consider printf, what you can say, control string is nothing but what is the control string for integer? Percentile d, right? Next, close the double quotes there itself, comma, what's the variable name here? A is the variable name, right, which stores the value. Fine. So in the output what will be displayed? At the place of percentile d, at the place of percentile d, the a value will be displayed. Okay, so in a what is the value you are having? 10. So what will be displayed? 10 will be displayed, right? So in this way we are printing the value, right? Suppose we have written the program, we know that 10 is nothing but the a value, right? Whereas if anyone else is seeing this particular output 10, can you understand what is the 10? No, right? Why? Because just you are displaying the value. So whenever you write a particular program, the output should be written or displayed in such a way that everyone should understand this output. Okay, so for that reason what we are doing, we are combining these particular two things, message, displaying the message and displaying the value. That is nothing but the third way of displaying the value, to display the value with message. Means syntax printf, So I'm combining this message and value. So in place of message, message will be displayed, and at the place of control string, the value will be displayed, right? So message control string 1 to message control string n, close the double quotes here itself, comma, what you can say, just variable 1 comma variable n, right? So here what's the example you can take? Again, if you want to consider int a equals to 10. Okay, I want to display along with the message, right? Say printf, what do you prefer to write? Suppose consider you are writing the particular message. Just consider what is the message you will be writing. Say I want to display that 10 in such a way that everyone will understand what is the 10. So what is the 10? Right. So what is the 10 is nothing but a value, right? So the a value is, what do you have to write? Control string. What is the control string for integer? %d, close the double quotes, comma, variable name. What's the variable name? A is the variable name, right? So in the output, what will be displayed? Suppose here what you have written, the message will be displayed as it is, right? So what's the message? You can say the a value is 10. At the place of %d only, the value is getting displayed. Okay, so whatever you are writing, the same will be displayed. Compiler will not assume the things. It can't modify the message. It won't change anything in the message, right? And this 10 is nothing but at place of control string, it is getting displayed. Understood? Now suppose what I am doing here, just the %d value is a. Suppose if I am writing this particular output in this particular format, what do you consider the output will be? The, what is it in place of %d? Value will be displayed 10, value is a, right? So is there any meaning to this particular message? No, right? So it's our response, means you can say duty, to write the message properly, the programmer's duty. Say if a value is %d, then the same way the output will be getting displayed. Okay, so the a value is 10. Fine. So here what you can say, this is the output function, which can be used in 3 different ways. First is nothing but to display the message, whatever that we are writing in the double quotes will be displayed, and second way is nothing but to display the value. Only the value will be displayed in place of control string, so that everyone should understand the output. For that reason we are displaying the value with the message. Then what you can say, that a value is %d comma a, it will display the message along with the value, right? In this particular thing, syntax is nothing but, like suppose consider in max you are having a plus b whole square, right? A square plus b square plus 2ab, that's the formula. So you cannot modify the formula, right? The same way this printf is like a formula. You don't write this particular thing in the program. You just according to the requirement, say here a is 10. If you want to display the value, just you write the particular example. Say you'll use that particular syntax and substitute your requirement. So whatever that requirement is, that you can substitute. Fine. So that is printf, the output function. Now next what you have, scanf, the input function, right? Say syntax. Everything will be having a syntax. So here consider scanf. We are having again the control string. Why? To specify the particular type of variable. So control string 1. In this control string, in between the control strings, there won't be any space, symbol or anything written in between the control strings. Okay, so what you can say, control string n, close the double quotes, comma. What is the difference between the printf and this particular scanf? Is nothing but only the symbol. What is that symbol? You can say and symbol, right? But this and symbol in programming language is known as ampersand. What is this and symbol is known as in programming language? Is nothing but ampersand. Okay, yes, ampersand. Okay, now why we require this particular ampersand? What is the difference it makes? Suppose, consider an example. If I am having only integer a, okay, like say if I am taking a equals to 10 and if I print the value, every time what will be the output displayed? Yes, every time if I display this particular program, if I run this particular program, the output will be 10 itself, right? But I don't want to display the same value again and again. I want to give different inputs for different times, like say for different number of times. Suppose for that reason, what you can do, I want to give the value at runtime. So what is the syntax? You can say scanf, right? Control strings. How many control strings? Nothing but how many variables will be there? That many control strings. So how many variables you are having? Only one variable, right? Say what will be that control string? You can say scanf. How many control strings? Only one control string, %d, comma, ampersand a, right? So what is this ampersand? Why we require this particular ampersand here? Suppose here how many bytes will be occupied for integer? Bytes will be occupied for integer. Say the memory, right? So for integer you can say 2 bytes is getting occupied. So we are having two types of memories, permanent and temporary, right? So every programming language occupies this particular memory from the temporary memory, you can say RAM, right? So now every particular location will have one particular address. Suppose consider here 102 is the address, right? Variable name and the value, right? But the value is given at runtime, say 10. Now I have declared the variable. I know that it is getting stored in RAM, but do I know the location? No, right? Say, does the compiler know the location? No, right? So how to tell the particular compiler where is the location of that a variable? Where is the location of this particular a variable, right? For that reason, what you are doing, we are specifying the ampersand. What is specifying? You are specifying the ampersand. Then what will happen? This 10 value will be getting stored in this particular location when we specify the operator known as ampersand. That ampersand is nothing but the address or location of the variable, address or location of the variable. Okay, so what you can say ampersand is address or location of a particular variable, right? Say scanf this particular part, you can see how many control strings? Only one control string, right? Say close the particular double quotes, comma, ampersand a, right? And what you can say here, the note point will be that and the symbol is nothing but the ampersand is known as what? Is the address or location of the variable, right? So this is what scanf, only one purpose you are using the scanf is nothing but input purpose, right? And generally what you can say a function is to perform a particular task, right? So this is the concept known as input and output functions, which requires control string also to specify the type of the particular variable. Okay.